Everybody look, it's about him and maybe about the same guys we got into it with it, and in the. So they walk up, the whole clan surround them. Mind you, I'm right there in the middle. I'm shoulder to shoulder with Pac right here. Pac standing right here. Nas standing right here. Nas walked around the corner. He wanted to see Pac. He wanted to talk to him. His body language was like, me and Pac need to chop it up. They met each other before. They had mutual respect for each other. So I know when Nas seen his boys at the awards, they probably told him what happened. We seen Pac, whatever. So he probably feel like, I need to see Tupac. He pull up. They start talking. You know what I mean? Mind you, they totally surrounded at this point. They was outnumbered. There's nothing tough about that. It was just Pac first time back in New York. We was deep. And that's just what it was. Now this is a corporate event. A lot of rich white people and actors, and it was no reason for Nas to be there deep at all. So he had his couple of guys, and as he should. It's cool squad and shit. So they chopping it up. I'm right there. Mind you, Nas was one of my favorites. This shit was like a movie to me. I see he right in front of me. I knew Illmatic. I knew the words to a fucking song. You know what I mean? The nigga had on a red leather outfit. He had on some glasses with some red lenses. He's right here in front of me. Me and Pac shoulder to shoulder. Nas right here in my face. My first time, in this environment. I wanted to tell a nigga how much, we all love him. But, this is wartime. Pac chopping it up with him. So, it was a little pushing going on. His boys, Pac, tell your boys to back up. Niggas ain't backing up nothing. Like this, it was a little tense exchange. But them niggas handle it like men, and they talk. And Pac told him what the fuck was going on. He told him he had him on. He dissed him on Against All Odds. He told him he was gonna take it off. He like, yo, nigga, we gotta work. Niggas should never be going at each other like that. You know what I'm saying? And it was a simple exchange, and Nas walked away. Right? It was a little hectic, for a minute, a little pushing. Suge right there. Snoop was way over there on the other side of the field. I saw him specifically. He was way over there. You know what I mean? I was right there, shoulder to shoulder with Pac, with one of my favorite rappers, Nas, right in front of my face, right? Then they left, right? We was all happy that this happened. You know what I mean? Pac loved Nas. I know they had nothing but respect for each other. I know all our Jersey niggas loved that nigga. How do I know? Because that's all we played when that nigga came out from, his first verse you ever heard. You know what I mean? Fucking live at the barbecue. We was all rocking with the nigga. What I don't like is over the years, man, how that exchange, all these different stories. The truth is, Nas walked up. It was about 7 of them. It was about 30, 40 of us. He didn't skip a beat, man. He didn't get, he didn't tuck his head. He walked up. He wanted to talk to Pac. The truth was, it was as gangster as it get. He walked up and they had a conversation. Pac all sweating, telling the nigga, yo, Nas was cool, like, yeah, And the corny shit though is like afterwards, all the amazing wild stories.
Right.
20 fucking years later, everybody got a wild story what happened that night. His brother Jungle, I'm about to shoot Tupac. He wouldn't have made it out the fucking park. Our niggas had heat. It was surrounded. There was nothing they could do. Anybody could be outnumbered. It's nothing special about that. A couple of niggas, could go against a bunch of niggas for sure, right? But it was no win in this situation. It wasn't no, sort of amazing, wild stories that I done heard over these years. I'm gonna start with Snoop Dogg. Nothing but love for Snoop Dogg. He told a wild version. I think like with Snoop, like when not Snoop, Kendrick, the joint he just dropped, he was saying to Snoop, I hope it was the edibles. I hope it was the edibles when he said this one. Because he had a wild version of the story, like Nas had Pac surrounded and all that. But to Snoop defense, right? Snoop didn't come with Pac to this park. Snoop got there in his vehicle, his security, however he did. So I think all the niggas that we had with us, they was outside the venue. All our Jersey niggas, the niggas ain't come inside the motherfucking awards. They was outside waiting for us to come out. So in my mind, I'm thinking maybe Snoop, he don't realize all these niggas is actually with Tupac. They're not with Nas. So to his defense, I'ma say that, you know what I mean? But he told a wild version of the story. It was a long time ago when I saw what he said, but it was something like, Nas, he had Pac surrounded and it was almost like Snoop version was like, Pac, Nas could have snapped his finger and it was over for Pac. And I'm like, I don't know, in his mind, he smoked a lot of weed. It was almost 30 fucking years ago. But Snoop's version for sure was by far the most off version. It was no truth at all to his version of the story. Mind you, I saw Snoop when all this was going on. He was way over there.
Yeah, you said he was from a distance. Yeah.
I mean, fucking way over there. You know what I mean? So for him, his version was just, I don't know why
he couldn't even hear what they was talking about.
He was nowhere near it. Literally, I think he was doing an interview with the cameras in his face. This is Snoop Dogg. You can't miss Snoop Dogg in the crowd. He's tall as shit, you know what I mean? So I don't know what made Snoop come up with that version, man, but just over the years, it's fatal. He used to lash out about that, like every time, Nas or one of them would do an interview, he was like real disappointed because we all loved Nas and looked up to Nas and